Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, I did a poll and I got 50-50 as of me trying to record this. So, I'm going to be the tiebreaker. I tried playing that game for you. Cliff Notes version. Low vision. Made a lot of mistakes. Very angry at myself. And that was the second time I played it. That's one of the problems with low vision playing games. I just literally overlook stuff that's right there in front of me because I literally don't see it. So, I was really mad at myself watching the playback and I'm like, not good enough. And I'd been having a freak out the last couple days and I went to Loki's altar in the hallway and he's like, you sit down. And I was like, uh-oh. And he said, your problem now is you wanted a family, spiritual family all your life. You have it and you're running away. He said, you want my advice, you're running away. There's nothing wrong with having an open house and having gods come and go, but he says you're also trying to run away from X, Y, and Z. And I've been having visions can you call it visions? I don't know. At least when I've been meditating, I've been seeing various gods. And I thought the last god was Hermes, but no, I think I know who it was. He had blonde, curly hair, tight cropped, and his face was like this. He was like snarling, but he had a dark blue hood over him, and his hair was down and hiding one eye. And he was like snarling like this and pointing at me. And people from Patreon are like, "Oh, I sense a pattern." And I had that, and I've had a lot of weird things happening. I had a dream, not a dream, vision, whatever the hell it was, just an image popped into my head, let's say that, of like a 8-bit video game of, it was clearly Odin, and he's in a grand library, and he's standing there, and he looks kind of Gandalfish, and he's kept handing books to this woman, and she keeps taking them. Don't ask me. And this has been over a period of time, not like two minutes or something. And today I got a vision after I spooked myself out good with that game because the witch is scary. I got a vision of I'm both looking at the wolf and I am the wolf. And I watch this wolf. The wolf has somehow wandered off the path and wandered into a river that's rushing downhill and into waterfalls and rapids. And I'm both watching this wolf struggle, and they can swim, but not in rapids. And I'm the wolf at the same time, and I can feel myself flailing. And I realize the wolf, me, is calling out to Odin. And I'm watching him. He just appears out of nowhere in that same blue robe. And it's kind of not quite the blue we give him, but kind of, I'm going to call it electric blue. But do you know the blue that's simultaneously dark and bright at the same time? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, it's that color. So this is really important, it feels like. And he pulls the wolf out of the water. And the wolf just starts clinging to him in terror and digging the claws into the shoulder because the wolf is terrified. And I'm both watching this, and I am the wolf, and my claws are absolutely implanted into his shoulder. And I'm like, Daddy, don't let me go. Don't drop me in the river. And then it clicked. We call him All Father, right? And I couldn't figure out why I was quite not having this trust thing. Trust Odin to let you know how. My father, I never trusted my father. And not just because he was abusive, but because he really shouldn't have had children, and he thought children and dogs were the same species. So I've told you this story before, but Odin helped me remember the rest of it. One day, when I was a little girl, I don't even think I was quite in kindergarten yet, my father decided you could teach children just like you teach dogs, and he took me to the local pool and he dropped me in the deep end, and I went to the bottom like a stone. And I couldn't swim, and I was panicking, and I tried to scream, which you don't do underwater, but little children don't know any better. And there was this guy that dove in, not a physical guy, but it was this guy that dove in. And he said, "This is my realm," and I thought he meant the water. He said, "Not yet." He said, "Not yet." And even though he wasn't physical, he pushed me to the surface, and he was vaguely like pedal like a dog would. A dog would pedal like this. You're all like, "Oh my god." I had and eventually some adult came and rescued me, and after that, it took my mother months to coax me off the pool steps. There were steps going down to this pool and a ladder, and I would just sit there and I would hold onto it in terror because I was gonna drown again. I was too young to know that the water didn't just voluntarily try to drown you. And it took me the longest time. And my dad was real mean-spirited man. He would do, he would convince me to like ride on his back and swim across the pool, and then unexpectedly he would dive and I would be left in the water. So my dad traumatized me in fucking water. And Odin's like, I'm never doing that shit to you. I'm never doing that shit to you. I am not going to drop you in a river. I'm not going to drop you in the water. I'm not going to be supporting you and then suddenly not support you. This is where your issues are coming from. So Odin to the rescue, and I've just been wailing and holding on to him. I'm still not sure how the household's going to be, but I was desperate. I told him, I don't care what kind of household you want. Just don't let me feel this freaked out. So, Odin came and rescued me. He is good to his people, and he said, okay, if you don't want me to hold you really close, I won't, but this is what happens when you wander off and get yourself in trouble. It wasn't Odin being mean. It was like you can either be held super close and I'll keep you out of trouble, or you can just wander off and get into trouble and get over your head. And well, he said, if you want guidance, you gotta be over here. You can't be over there sniffing at daisies or falling into rivers, or as he's told me very lovingly, he said he's never known a wolf before that falls into so many wells as I do. He says, you even find wells that don't exist to fall in. We talk in wolf metaphors. I think it's just a thing between us. I've never heard anyone else do it. But Odin came to the rescue. Odin bit the wolf out of the river, and I was just clinging to him like, don't ever let me go. So he didn't let me drown. And I always thought that maybe that guy that saved me was a ghost, or maybe he was, one time I thought he was the ghost of a soldier, and then one time I thought he might be like a god connected to the water or something, because I knew there was no physical room for him to dive from. He came out of nowhere. And did have a beard. It did have a beard. Looked younger, but I'm sort of guessing because I swallowed water. And I swallowed water again. I couldn't understand why I wasn't breathing. I kind of think I know who it was. Because, that's how Odin takes sacrifices. Do not do this on home. That's how Odin takes sacrifices. If you suffocate to death, you belong to the old man. So, yeah. And the funny thing was, my father basically suffocated to death. And, it makes you wonder. And I think the same thing for my brother, but I got the idea it wasn't my time yet. It wasn't my time, and it was not time for me to be made a sacrifice to him. Usually his people were hanged, but I think if he fell in a river and drowned, that's in his lore too. So, whether he hanged or drowned, a couple of people actually connect to him drowned, come to think of it. So don't go near the damn water if you work with the old man. Water dangerous, water bad. So he came to the rescue. He came to the rescue. So I am grateful. And right now the wolf's just on dry land looking at the water like, I ain't never doing that again. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.